Stop 23 on the NNSCRA Mello Racing Series brings us to Richmond International Raceway as we're set for racing here on this 3/4 mile racetrack. It's our second visit to this racetrack here at Richmond, I should say, too. It's the running of the... Excuse me. Excuse me, there we go. It's the running of the... It's the running of the Bubba Burger 250 as we're set for racing here on this 3/4 mile racetrack. And it's the yeah, here's the start line for this ring event. Sorry, I can't talk here tonight. On the pole is Keith Batson in car number 1, the Baby Rude 40. He'll be alongside car 52, Kyle Matthews in the AC Delco Chevrolet, 3-time winner so far this season. Here, while Batson has won only once this season so far, that coming at New Hampshire. Second row, Jesse Turner in 99. He'll be alongside Johnny Gardner in 44. That's the second row. Turner in the Armour Food Line Chevy, and Gardner also in a Chevy. His sponsor is Slim Jim. Third row is Levi McIntyre in the Rose's Discount Stores Buick. He'll be alongside car 11, Jessica Shelton, 2-time winner season so far. She won the last race in the Tour of Darlington, and she also won the Goodies 300 at Daytona this season. The Budweiser Ford, car number 11. Next row down has Dylan Young in number 2, and number 32. It is Seth Cole. Neither driver has yet to, both drivers has yet to win a race this season so far, but they both hope to do so before the season's over. Next row down is Cole Deaver, the championship leader here this season. Point of the season, he is in the GM Given Chevrolet car number 3. He's won 3 times this season, and this track being one of them by way earlier in the season. He's alongside Charles Sanford in 08 to the Walt Tools Chevy, and he's second place in the points coming into this event. I should say, actually, he's third place still in the standings, but he's second, close behind this man, Joshua Osborne, number 63. He's won twice this season. He's won 3 times this season so far. The Nescafe ST Pontiac. He won at Talladega. He won at Milwaukee, and he also won at Bristol, the night race at Bristol. That is. He'll be flanked by Phil Parker in 25, the Fast Fair Crown Petroleum Oldsmobile. He is the winner twice this season so far. Next we're down Austin Colano in number 9 and 75, Jacob Sturgeon. Next we're down after that would be Chloe Owen in 55. She'll be alongside 60, Nathan Hudson in number 64. Next we're down is John Andrews in 72. He'll be alongside car number 15. It is Justin Dearborn, a Chevy and an Oldsmobile on this row. Next we're down is the number 5 Buick of Emmanuel Hardin. He'll be alongside number 46. It is Paul Minnick. Next we're down after that would be Cat Batson in number 28, Texaco Haviland Ford. And the 36 Cox's Dry Treated Lumber's Pontiac of Ryan George. Next we're down is Julius Anderson, number 40, and the Magic Skull Classic Oldsmobile Car 0 of Jacob Thibodeau. Next we're down as number 31, Carson Gum, and number 20, Jeremiah Dwayne. The next we're down after that would be car number 4, William Brock, the Kodak Film Chevy. He won a season at Pikes Peak. He'll be alongside Mitchell Collins in 40 at the Staff America Oldsmobile. Next we're down is Arthur Xavier in 03, the Delco Voyager Chevrolet. And number 45, Molly Black Gold Chevrolet of Joshua Michaels. Next we're down is car number 92, Nathan Orman, and number 87, James Henry. Then it's number 38, Kev Shear, the forward credit recover at least Ford. He'll be alongside number 59, Alliance Truck Parts Oldsmobile of Ryan Brommer. Next we're down has number 27, Carter Friesen, the Gwaltney Big 8 Chevrolet, and number 01, Jackson Haywood, the Carolina Ford Dealers Ford. Next we're down after that would be car 21, Quentin Moore, the Cheerwine Ford. He'll be alongside car 34, Gene Sanford, the Hungry Jack Buick. And starting shotgun field will be Sebastian Kukulon in number 8, the TRC Financial Services Oldsmobile, and Dustin Boland in the number 7 Skull Bandit Buick. So the field lined up here, the field of 40 cars lined up here. Richmond is a tough short track as well. A lot of the short tracks we've been to have been tough so far this season. We've gone to tracks like Bristol. We've gone to Bristol. We've gone to IRP. We've gone to Myrtle Beach. We've gone to Hickory Speedway in Nashville, and now here at Richmond.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
That's how a good race going. Commands begin for the engines as we get some racing here on this racetrack here as Keith Batson and Kyle Matthews will lead him down. a Ford Chevy front row here this season, in this race at Richmond. And by the way, Kyle and Keith will both have in-car cameras in today's event, as well as Jessica Shelton. She will have her third in-car camera here at Richmond. So what will the points look like coming out of this race here? As we'll have 23 in the books after this race is over. We will have 6 races to go after this. Dover's next on the tour for the MBNA Gold, for the MBNA 200, as the field comes off turn number 4. Field comes off turn number 4. A Ford Chevy front row. Green flag is out. And we're ready to go. Over 40 laps of racing here in the Bubba Burger 250. Three wide racing already here. Kyle Matthews, Cole Deaver, and Johnny Gardner on the inside lane. Deaver has the low groove of the track here as they come off turn number 2. He, Dylan Young, and Levi McIntyre on the low side of the track as they come off turn number 4. Now Young looks low on McIntyre for second place now as they come across the start-finish line into turn number 1. Keith Batson driving off in the sunset at the moment here, but they are still early on in this race here at Richmond. So Young goes up to second position. Third is now Deaver. Fourth position as McIntyre trying to stay in fourth. Joshua Osborne, though, closing up in fifth in that 63 machine. And yellow flag looks like it's flown for the first time here today. And we got a bit of a stack-up coming off turn number 4. And it was Nathan Hudson in number 60, and I think also Ryan Brommer in number 59. Maybe. Yeah, there's Hudson in the 60 machine, the Winn-Dixie Ford. So they came off turn number 4. Actually, there was a crash that already happened, and it was the third place driver in the points. Charles Sanford was involved. Charles Sanford, third place in the standings coming into this event, has crashed. Well, I'll be dipped. So it looks like he and Phil Parker hook each other up in the turn number 4, and wall ride for Sanford in the 08. As he and Phil Parker got together in the 25 machine, and now the yellow flag, you see, at this point has already flown. But that was not the only incident that happened here. Nathan Hudson in the 60, he snuck by that crash, and he turns Austin Colano around, and then Justin Dearborn in a 15 car just turns the 60 car over. About almost the same footage you saw in the background here. Sanford's car goes back up on all 4 wheels. And I think he might have gotten the car back together here. And we also saw some damage on the Paul Minnick machine, the 46 car. There it is. And maybe some damage also to there's William Brock. He's got some back end wrinkle on his car. So does Austin Colano in the 9. A lot of cars having to drive through the grass just to avoid the wreckage. There's Orman. He gets into the crash when Gene Sanford barely missed the 60 car of Hudson. So that was a relief for Nathan, obviously, that nobody else tagged him. And also a gearbox failure has we are being told has collected taken the 03 car of Arthur Xavier out of the race. So he, Paul Minnick, and of course obviously Nathan Hudson out of the race. How Charles Sanford's not out of the race despite that wall ride is not out. How Charles Sanford's out of the race is not out of the race because that wall ride is beyond me. And he is being shown in 28th position despite all that. Phil Parker is shown in 26th. And by the way, the 8 car of Sebastian Kukulon is the one in last place at the moment. He is 5 laps down at this point. And there is Kukulon in a 08 car. If nothing happens to him, he will pass 3 cars easily because 3 of the cars are out of the race. So what are the odds? Cars 1, 2, and 3 holds first, second, and third. Car number 1 in first, car 2 in second, car 3 in third. So how about that for a little rarity right there? Green flag out on lap number 9 here at Richmond. Batson leads, Dylan Young second, Deaver is up to third position, actually maybe down the fourth here because here comes Levi McIntyre to the low side. Gets past Deaver as they come off turn number 4. Now the outside lane follows. Now the inside lane follows suit there. McIntyre, Jesse Turner, Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, all in his bunch. And meantime, Dylan Young's now taking the lead in car number 2, so he takes the number 1 spot. And the DuPont Automotive finishes colors. And whoa, McIntyre just about lost it coming off turn number 4. Saves it, and so I guarantee you Levi did a full day's work in the cockpit of that machine because he was sideways a lot off turn number 4. But Levi manages to keep the foot on the throttle of that number 6 Buick as he runs right down in third position. Keith Batson in fourth. Jesse Turner's in second. Seth Cole at the 5th position. And here comes at number 11, Jessica Shelton. She won the last race on the Tour at Darlington. On board with Kyle Matthews in car 52. He runs in the 8th position. Cole Deaver now getting by him and trying to get by Johnny Gardner as well. Deaver is at least. Matthews watching all this from his view. Matthews giving Johnny Gardner a bit of a bump there. Hello. Just letting you know I'm there in case you're dozing off. So probably what Kyle's saying to Johnny, I guess. Now inside with Jessica Shelton at number 11. Shelton running in 6th position at the moment. Now Matthews goes up underneath, tries to get by her. Kyle gets by. Now Deaver tries to get by Jess in the 11 machine. And now Shelton's got a couple of red cars she's got to contend with here. Johnny Gardner and Joshua Osborne. Chevy, a Ford, and a Pontiac all in this bunch. So Osborne goes by. That was for 9th position. Shelton back to 10th. In the meantime, the 3 and the 52 cars, I'd be watching those two because those two looks like they're making some headway through the top 10 cars. In the meantime, Seth Cole is closed up as the yellow flag flies for the second time here today. Dylan Young won race back to the start-finish line. Looks like it's Jacob Thibodeau in car 0 that has spun, looks like. We'll see where the yellow flag flew here. Looking at the pace car right here. So the lights start blinking. There it is. Yep, and it was the number 4 car. It was William Brock that got turned. Brock was running in 15th position. He was 3 wide between he, Julius Anderson, and the 45 car of Joshua Michaels as they come off turn number 2. Usually a trouble spot and usually a place where people will luckily get turned, and he does. Brock actually got turned on the backstretch by Joshua Michaels. Oof! Backs the car right into the wall and almost gets right up in the 20 car of Jeremiah Dwayne, but so Brock already with a back wrinkle on that number 4 Kodak film Chevy, and also he had a dust up right there. It was number 01 Jackson Haywood and the 48 of Mitchell Collins, and he almost got into the 72 car of John Andrews. So the caution flying for the second time today because of a crash involving William Brock on the backstretch coming off turn number 2. So, still 3 cars out of the race here. Again, the 8 car of Sebastian Kukulon not on the lead lap. He is 5 laps down in 37th position at the moment, trying to get one of his 5 laps back. Dylan Young is the leader. Second is Seth Cole. Then Keith Batson is third. Then Jesse Turner fourth. And Cole Devers fifth. Then Kyle Matthews, Levi McIntyre, Jessica Shelton, Joshua Osborne, and Johnny Gardner in the top 10. Green flag back out on lap number 24. Off turn number 4, here comes number 99, Jesse Turner to the low side, 3 wide, a power move. And looks like the yellow flag's flown for the 3rd time today, looks like, and it's Emmanuel Hartnett, number 5, that has crashed. The Innkeeper Buick, that's the 3rd caution flag. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness, that looks like a bad crash that happened between Jeremiah Dwayne and Emmanuel Hartnett. Let's take a look again as to what happened. This happening on lap number 24 of this race. Hartnett and Dwayne gets hooked right there through turns off turn number into 3 and 4. Both cars go upside down. Hartnett is, oh my gosh, he is upside down, gets back on all 4 wheels, and several cars got close to hitting Hartnett. We'll look and see if anybody hit the 20 car, because I mean, before you have a real-time view. Here's the real-time replay. Here's what happened to Jeremiah Dwayne. Yeah, John Andrews got involved, Friesen got involved, and several cars got piled in. William Brock was involved, so is Dustin Boland, so is William Brock. James Henry in the 87 involved. So obviously the 20 car obviously out of the race, and I think so is the 5, yep. 75 car, Jacob Sturgeon's out of the race as well in the Food Country Oldsmobile. The 21 and 87 are still somehow in the race here, apparently. So, So, 28 laps in the books. We will get the race restarted on lap number 30. So we'll have 11 laps remaining here at Richmond, Virginia. In what has been, in so far 3 caution flags, it's slowed its pace down to just a little over 71.5 miles an hour at this point. Dylan Young, can he hold them all off? Well, we'll find out, and hopefully we get the last 11 laps run under green, I hope. Not holding my breath, though, the way things have been going so far. As they come off turn number 4, Dylan Young will lead. Jesse Turner second. Third is Seth Cole. Fourth is Cole Deaver. Fifth is Keith Batson. Then it's Levi McIntyre, Kyle Matthews, Johnny Gardner, Jessica Shelton, and Joshua Osborne. The top 10, the green flag back out on lap number 30. Lap traffic can be a nuisance, and it is to Levi McIntyre, slams the inside wall. Goes back up the track, and Charles Hammer just about turned Joshua Osborne around. Come on, turn number 4. And McIntyre way down the apron on the track. Goes up against a few of the cars and just about takes some of them out. And several cars, and a big crash. McIntyre is, oh my God. What happened? Chaos ensues on lap number 31 here at Richmond, and let's take a look at all what happened. The whole thing started on the 30th lap after the restart. McIntyre got turned by Kyle Matthews coming off turn number 2. And here's where all the events ensue. Pancaked the side of his the passenger side of his car. McIntyre got real loose come off turn number 4. I thought he was going to lose it right here and cause a big one right there. Now watch what happens at this point right there. McIntyre. The crash actually was caused by Sebastian Kugelon. Got into Cole Deaver. Seth Cole got crashed right here. Now we're going to go back to the 32 of Seth Cole. Keith Batson and Jessica Shelton lean on each other, but meantime, Deaver turns the 32 of Seth Cole around after he was trying to avoid the car of I can't think of who it was. Chloe Owen crashes into Seth Cole's car, and then everybody, watch Levi McIntyre and Julius Anderson both crash into the barrels. Oh my goodness, McIntyre hard. Mitchell Collins crashes into the barrel. So does Carter Friesen. So does Dustin Bowen. So does Jeremiah. So does Justin Dearborn. So does William Brock. I mean, that is about the craziest crash I've ever seen here. I mean, well, how many cars got taken out of this one? Here, look at the attrition list here in this race here. Chloe Owens out of the race. Kyle Matthews is out. So is Julius Anderson, Justin Dearborn, Levi McIntyre, Jackson Haywood, Nathan Ormond, Mitchell Collins out of the race. Carter Friesen, Dustin Boland is out of the race. So is adding onto the list already, including Jacob Sturgeon, Jeremiah Dwayne, Emmanuel Hartnett, Arthur Xavier was also involved. So was also in the crash. Actually, it's a gearbox problem for Xavier's car. Then it was Paul Minnick and Nathan Hudson. So all in all, a grand total of 16 cars out of this race, and the only car still running that's in the back of the pack is Sebastian Kugelon. He is 5 laps down. I don't know if he's going to have enough laps to to get up to about 24th. Is where he can finish no better than, or no worse than, I should say, if he has enough laps to get past all those cars. That's ahead of him. That's already out of the race. But can Dylan Young hold them all off? Well, if the cautions keep falling where they keep falling, if according to plan, then he should. Jesse Turner second, then Beaver, Patson, and Johnny Gardner top 5. The green flag back out on lap number 37. We have 4 laps to go. And look at Jesse Turner to the low side, come off turn number 2, and he's going to make the pass on Dylan Young for the lead. And he's got it. Here comes Deaver to the low side, car number 3, the Goodwrench Chevy. 3 laps to go. 3 wide back there. Shelton, Gardner, and Batson, the top 3 wide in this bunch. Shelton the 4th. But Gardner goes to the low side. He moves Shelton up high and gets past her. And here comes Cole Deaver for the lead. Car number 3. 2 laps to go. White flag will be waving this time by here. Cole Deaver in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, car number 3. Rounds the 4th corner, he sees the white flag is 1 to go. Jesse Turner comes up to the back bumper of Deaver's car through turns 1 and 2. What's Jesse going to do? He looks at the low side of the track here as they come off turn number 2. Into the 3rd and 4th turns they come. Turner's going to try to make the pass, trying to dive to the low side of the track. He tries to move Deaver up the track. He's not going to happen. Cole Deaver holds them all off at Richmond. Cole Deaver scores his 4th win of the season as the GM Goodwrench team has done it again. The first time he's won since Bristol, the day race at Bristol, way back in the 6th race of the season. What a finish that was. Jesse Turner, I thought it was going to put the bumper to him, come off turn number 4 and spin him, I thought. Oh my gosh. So a wild 4-lap shootout has ensued. Cole Deaver comes out the winner. 2nd was Jesse Turner. 3rd was Dylan Young. Jessica Shelton moves up to 4th. 5th position will go to Johnny Gardner. Then Keith Batson. Joshua Osborne. Charles Sanford comes back to finish 8th after that wall ride he took early in the race. I don't know how. Ryan George was 9th, and Ryan Brommer ends up finishing in 10th in this race. Unbelievable. So that will do it at Richmond International Raceway here. Congratulations again to Cole Deaver, the winner here in the Bubba Burger 250. Rest of the finishers for you here. 11th was Kev Shear, 12th Phil Parker, 13th Carson Gum, 14th Joshua Michaels, 15th will go to Cat Batson, then Gene Sanford. Seth Cole was dropped to 17th after that spin he suffered in turns 3 and 4. Quentin Moore's 18th, 19th John Andrews, Jacob Thibodeau 20. Then 21st, William Brock, Austin Colano, and James Henry, the last lead lap finisher in 23rd. And Sebastian Kukalon did move up to 24th, despite that big crash we had in the last of this race. Cars out of the race in order. Chloe Owen, Kyle Matthews, Julius Anderson, Justin Dearborn, Levi McIntyre, Jackson Haywood, Nathan Orman, Mitchell Collins, Carter Friesen, Dustin Bolin, Jacob Sturgeon, Jeremiah Dwayne, Emmanuel Hartnett, Arthur Xavier, Paul Minnick, and Nathan Hudson. That will do it here today that will do it at Richmond International Raceway. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. Be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got inner races, gaming videos, online racing videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA set goals are for the channel. Be sure to check out our other NNSCRA series, including the Budweiser All-Pro Series, the Duracell Cup Series, and the Bubba Pedigree Xfinity Series. All 3 of them on this channel, and to subscribe and to keep up on the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, be sure to subscribe to Thrashman899's channel, and he'll get you going for that series as well. Both of those channels you'll want to check out for sure. So that will do it today at Richmond International Raceway. For now, this is James Qualston, production of the NNSCRA. Off on racing at its best. We will see you at Dover.